Thank you for joining us for our annual State of the School address.
In just a few moments, we'll be hearing from faculty all around our campus.
They'll be highlighting the blessings and the achievements of this very different school year.
First up is our head of school, Mr. Minks.
Welcome, one and all, to the 2021 State of the School Address. Our theme for this year is Anchored, based on Hebrews 6:19, which says, "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure." When we selected this theme last spring, we had no idea how closely we would need to cling to its truth. I have been thankful, both professionally and personally, to be reminded of this truth repeatedly over the course of the last year. I hope it brings you similar assurance as only Christ can. As you know, our mission at Cambridge is, well, it begins with to glorify God in all that we do. It identifies excellence that we are pursuing in 5 areas: academics, athletics, the arts, character, and service. And we continue to subscribe fully to kingdom education. One of its principles states, "The education of children and youth must be based on God's Word as absolute truth." Psalm 119 is an awesome passage on God's Word. Verse 105 says, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light for my path." This is part of our pledge to the Bible in lower school. Verse 160 says, "All your words are true, all your righteous laws are eternal." Truth is not subjective. While our society claims that each one can find his or her own truth, we will cling to God as the source of all truth, and we will subscribe to absolute truth. Only Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. It is exciting to know that all of your kids are hearing and experiencing that reality every day at Cambridge. I want to tell you about accreditation. Last spring, we received our reaccreditation from CSF, Cognia, and the National Council for Private School Accreditation. This acts as a huge stamp of approval of not only our academics, but also of our comprehensive program and operations. We are held accountable to progress through a continual cycle of improvement. Achieving this reaccreditation is reflective of much hard work by our staff and worthy of celebration. Speaking of celebration, for a number of years, our lower school has been in pursuit of becoming a national blue ribbon school. In November, after years of hard work and improvement, multiple application submissions, and a long wait, CCS received a letter of congratulations from the President of the United States for achieving this prestigious honor. Cambridge received this award specifically for academic excellence as measured by state assessments and nationally normed tests. National Blue Ribbon is part of a larger Department of Education effort to identify and disseminate knowledge about effective school leadership and teaching practices. This year, of more than 132,000 elementary and secondary schools in the U.S., only 50 private schools received designation as National Blue Ribbon schools. Huge thanks to our lower school leadership, but our leadership will quickly redirect that credit to the most deserving folks, our teachers, who are working harder than ever this year. Many of you know that CCS launched a diversity committee in September. It is comprised of teachers, staff, and parents. Rolanda Sermons is the chair. Our mission is to develop a kingdom-focused environment throughout the CCS family that embraces the individual differences God has created in each person. We are also honored to host the Grace Council, a student organization facilitated by Dr. Temperley as a campus connection of Student Leadership Institute focused on individual differences operating in unison to reflect the image of God. In the last 4 years, racial diversity in the student body at Cambridge has moved from 17% to 40%. While this is wonderful, it leads to many other considerations. At the least, we must be culturally informed and educated in order to best meet needs and ensure a relational connection with all students and families. Now for some nuggets from our annual data dashboard. COVID wreaked some havoc with our re-enrollment and staff retention this year. Understandably, many chose to learn or teach from home due to health concerns. Therefore, I cannot brag about tremendous growth like we experienced last year. However, I am pleased to report great progress in a number of other areas. First, annual fund giving. We made our annual fund goal last year and we're on pace to do the same this year. Thank you for your generosity even in the middle of a pandemic. Test scores. The class of 2020 included 63 young men and women that achieved the highest test scores in 5 years for both the SAT and the ACT. In addition, for the 4th straight year, these test scores for our graduates increased. AP pass rates. Many may not know that Cambridge offers an extensive advanced placement program in our high school. When students pass their advanced placement or AP exams, they receive college credit. This past year, 81%, the highest we have on record at CCS since the mid-90s, passed their AP exams. In the mid-90s, our AP program was in its infancy with just 1 to 2 classes. Furthermore, the class of 2020 earned $5.4 million in scholarships. We are proud of our graduates. For more about life in our upper school, let's turn to Dr. Temperley, our upper school principal.
Thank you, Mr. Minks. To our wonderful Lancer community, thank you for your partnership in the cause of Christ-centered kingdom education. Although 2020 brought many challenges, we are grateful for the leadership of our faculty and staff in providing an excellent education to our student body. I am proud of our team and how they adapted, adjusted, and were ready to do whatever it took to provide excellence. To highlight a few items from the year, I will begin with our new hires. I'm so proud of our faculty department chairs for training, preparing, and ensuring their new hires were ready to go day one. Our faculty is committed to the cause of Christ-centered education and have a passion for what they do. It is truly our joy to serve. The upper school welcomed Mr. Nathan Stark as the upper school assistant principal in July. He has hit the ground running, building relationships with our student body, assisting with chapel both performing and sound technician, helping lead leadership training in the middle school, and leading our home-based instruction program in the upper school. We also welcomed Mrs. Melissa Merchant as the new upper school administrative assistant. She has stepped up and led well. On behalf of the upper school, I say thank you to not only our new hires, but our returning faculty and staff throughout the year, helping make CCS academically and spiritually excellent. CCS successfully launched an HBI program this fall. Mr. Stark led the charge in allowing many in our school community the opportunity to remain a student during the COVID season who would have otherwise been unable to attend due to high-risk situations. HBI has also provided our staff and students who were quarantined an opportunity to remain a part of the classroom through virtual instruction. Academics continue to be a strong suit for CCS. This past year, we added AP Human Geography to our slate of AP exams with a 78% passing rate, and many of our departments had some of their highest passing rates in recent history. Cambridge students are well prepared for academic success. Another highlight is that one of our current STEM program seniors is working with NASA to procure a summer internship. CCS was grateful to resume a full slate of athletics and fine arts productions this school year, which was no small feat. Our coaches and fine arts department did a great job preparing students and keeping fans and audience members safe during their performances. Throughout 2020, we have been able to retain many of the traditions that make Cambridge unique. Freshmen had a freshman freeze popsicles after school. Sophomores had their 10th day of school blessings. Juniors had a junior jingle, and seniors had a class picnic on campus. All events were sponsored and led by parent volunteers, and most importantly, they were COVID friendly. Our students appreciated the kind gestures. Finally, our student leadership organizations have continued to minister throughout the pandemic. SLI and Ignite Your Faith recently hosted a toy drive for foster children. Key Club led a canned food drive at Thanksgiving, and our high school ambassadors continue to lead devotions with our middle school students once per month and have added leadership lessons in addition to their monthly meetings. We have added FCA meetings in the high school for anyone interested, and our chapel worship team has been able to lead our student body and worship each week. It was not always easy this past year. There are still restrictions and lower capacity limits on various events, but we are grateful for God's provisions throughout this season. We hope the day comes quickly when we can resume normalcy and share all the cherished CCS experiences together again. For now, we press on and are grateful for the opportunity to partner with our families both on and off campus. Thank you for your time, and God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Temperley. Now it's time to check in with our lower school principal, Mrs. Moss.
Welcome to lower school. I am sure we could all agree this school year has been like no other. During these unprecedented times, we have worked diligently to upgrade health and wellness measures to allow our students to return to campus safely, while also providing home-based instruction for students who were not able to return in person. We have a fabulous team of teachers and staff that work with our little lambs to 6th grade students that help to make this happen. God continues to bless us with educators and staff that are equipped and passionate about student learning and growth. This year, we welcomed many talented new teachers to our Lancer family. These teachers are a wonderful addition to our team, and we are thankful for their dedication in providing a kingdom education. This year, we are increasing our focus on social and emotional learning in the classroom by providing our teachers with professional development based on current brain research regarding child development and developmentally appropriate practices. Conscious Discipline is a comprehensive social, emotional curriculum and classroom management system. Social and emotional learning is the foundation to successful student performance. Our teachers infuse these skills throughout the curriculum to enrich the learning experience for all students. At Cambridge, we have always focused on the whole child, spiritually, intellectually, socially, emotionally, and physically. As evidence of this, Cambridge was a recipient of the U.S. Department of Education 2020 National Blue Ribbon Schools Award. CCS was identified as an exemplary high-performing school based on student performance on national testing. Our students placed in the top 15% in both reading and math. The National Blue Ribbon of Distinction is a prestigious award that exemplifies excellence in education. We are honored to be included in this select group of schools from across the country. Through shared partnerships with our students, families, and community, we are given the opportunity to be a light to others, locally and globally, even during these unprecedented times. Loving our neighbors is the fundamental evidence of our faith, and our Lancer family does this very well. We continue to sponsor 10 children from new missions with the funds coming from our Chick-fil-A lunch days. In November, our students shared a little joy with our active military that would not be coming home for the holidays. Our Lancers sent thanks to uniformed military, both here and abroad, through beautiful pictures and wonderful words of encouragement. Last month, we collected over 300 shoeboxes for children at New Missions in Haiti. These boxes were filled with school supplies, toys, and other small gifts that can make a big difference in the lives of Haitian children and their families. Locally, we continue to serve our community in a variety of ways. Last month, our lower school students and families collected an abundance of food to help feed homeless families and students at Oak Grove Elementary School. In the spring, our students will also collect food and supplies for Hope Children's Home. Lower School also continues to partner with the American Heart Association by participating in Jump Rope for Heart at the end of February during our PE classes. As we look towards second semester, we look forward to all that God has planned for us. We are thankful for God's faithfulness and guidance this year. As we face some challenges, God continues to remind us to simply rely on Him. Thank you for partnering with us as we continue to build a strong spiritual and academic foundation for our students.
Thank you, Mrs. Moss. Next, let's see what's going on in middle school with Mrs. Saviola.
If you were to go and search for books and movies about the middle school years, you're going to immediately see that they don't sound that complimentary. Approximately 2 years ago, there was a movie out entitled Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. And that sentiment seems to adequately sum up how everyone feels about middle school. At Cambridge Christian School, our middle school encompasses the 7th and 8th grades, which is generally the ages of 12 through 14. Students are moving out of that pre-adolescent period and into becoming a full-fledged teenager. And these years see children going through a multitude of changes, not just intellectual changes, but emotional, physical, and social changes. That's why in our middle school program, we try to ensure we have programs and activities in place to meet all of these needs. If you were to ever hear someone described as a Renaissance person, you're saying that they're an individual with many talents or many areas of knowledge. And at Cambridge Christian School, we use that definition in the design of our program. We want to give our students opportunities to explore numerous areas of interest. We certainly don't want to pigeonhole them at this age. With choir, band, art, gardening, robotics, introduction to engineering, drama, and an incredible athletic program of 12 different sports, we hope that our students get to taste anything that interests them. Each year, we do look at ways to incorporate even more choices into our program. Because the social and spiritual growth of our students is so important to us, we utilize a house system in our middle school. With Joshua 1:9 as our guide, we established the houses of Tomeo, which means courage, and Dunamis, which means strength. Each house consists of both 7th and 8th grade students, boys and girls. The students sit with their houses during middle school chapel and on our weekly advisory days. The house council serves as the student leadership group, and they assist in planning different activities throughout the year, such as homecoming week activities, our semester parties, and our service projects. Throughout the year, each house receives points for activities, such as winning games and competitions, or mastering the most IXL units in math, or the best results for a service project. And at the end of the year, the house with the highest total points receives the coveted House Cup. The middle school house system provides our students with so many opportunities, but the three that speak most to my heart are that our house system provides constructive competition. It emphasizes student leadership and encourages peer mentoring. We also do our best to create a sense of family and teamwork by having fun together. In a non-COVID year, this includes taking class retreats, themed parties each semester, and service projects. We have wonderful J-term opportunities, which include the 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. Naturally, the academic and the intellectual growth of our students is one of our primary concerns. And because of this, we consistently search for ways to get our students to connect classroom content to real-life experiences. Our project-based learning units, such as the 7th grade bridge building program and the 8th grade inventions project, not only allow the students to explore real-world problems, but also show the students how content connects across multiple disciplines. We try to ensure we have ways to meet the varied needs of each individual student by honoring honors and on-target math courses in 7th grade. And there are honors classes available for our 8th grade students in the areas of math, science, and English. While the academic, emotional, and social growth of each student is vitally important to us, of course, our primary goal is to incorporate a biblical worldview. Each unit taught will have numerous areas in which students are challenged to see how our 12 biblical truth strands connect to the academic content they are learning. If middle school students are searching to find out who they are, we want to ensure they establish their identity firmly in Jesus. When it's time to send our precious students off to high school, we want them to go with a knowledge of and a relationship with Christ resolutely in their hearts.
God, thank you for this wonderful day.
Dear God, thank you for the friends we have made.
And I'm thankful that we have a school and teachers that teach us to learn.
Dear Jesus, thank you so much for these precious children. Thank you for our school. Thank you for our families.
Lord, please keep us healthy and safe.
Lord, we pray that you will be in us and let us show your light for others to see.
I'm a believer that God goes before us, so starting it out in prayer is acknowledging that God's already there. Just slowing down. And I think in our society where it says go, 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 make the grade, make the to-do list, Cambridge sets aside this time to just be still and know that I am God.
Even before school would start, like school would start at 7:45 and kids would show up at 7 to go to these prayer mornings, which is like really amazing that any high schooler got up that early.
I wasn't the one that went to church every Sunday. I was able to get my spiritual growth at school, and it helped me out because I knew that was the right way to be spiritually sound and be able to grow in Christ. And it helped me out quite a bit because I was able to see everyone else around me and see them growing as well.
What separates obviously the Cambridge program from somewhere else is that Christian aspect. And is that every day after practice, we'd all kneel around in prayer on the field. We'll pray for each other in the locker room if someone was going through a tough time at home.
I went to Cambridge when I was in 2nd grade. So at that young age, they kind of embedded, the way I should go. I didn't understand, the purpose at that time. But seeing it now and looking back at what I was taught and everything I was exposed to, I see the benefit of that.
Definitely got me on a path to really being a woman of God, even when being surrounded by atheists and people who just don't have the same beliefs as me.
During my grades, yes, I learned Bible verses. It was great. I learned so much about Christ. And then in between 8th and 9th grade, my parents got a divorce, which really hit me hard. Got with Mr. Girding, if you remember him. He really helped me out a lot. And that's when I accepted Christ. I felt with my teachers there, they were very personal and they took me in because they knew that I needed somebody. It was very personal and I really appreciated it there.
I mean, it was some of the best years of my life.
Well, I remember 8th grade, I was in Bible class. Miss Teresa would always had such a confidence in, the word and, what it was saying and what it was implying. So to see someone with that confidence, it wasn't just that they were teaching it, but that, they were living out the word and they were living out, that godly character. So that was something that impacted me a lot. Since our kids go to school there too, it's great to see them come home and just say, I learned a new Bible verse this week, and them spout it out to you in a second. You're like, wait, I don't even remember that one.
And it's important because they lay this Christian foundation that our kids know their Bible. And along with a spelling test and a math test, they know the Word of God. For us, it's the family atmosphere and the biblical purpose in which it's combined together and creates this wonderful place that we call home for our little family.
They love these kids so much and they pour their hearts into them. And we can see it every day when they come home that their teachers just loved on them.
A lot of people consider Cambridge to be like their home away from home, which is a really nice thing to have in a school.
It gave me the strongest foundation that I could ask for.
Since 1964, it has been a Christian school in the Tampa Bay community. And we believe in that rich history. I'm hopeful that my children's children will attend Cambridge Christian School.
I want to share with you some of our parent survey results. First, we had record participation this year at 56%. It's fantastic. The results were also extremely positive. Even in the midst of COVID, we had huge increases across the board. We had the highest ever rankings in overall satisfaction and likelihood to recommend our school. One of the biggest increases was in quality instruction of faculty. This is remarkable during COVID and a testament to how hard they continue to work. This should serve as affirmation and a great encouragement to our teachers. I want to tell you our 3 highest scores from the parent survey. The highest score was for safety and security. We've received so much positive feedback about how Cambridge has handled COVID. As it is a polarizing topic, we will never have universal agreement on this issue. But we are thankful that God has protected our campus from this virus running rampant. The second highest score was caring and nurturing environment. We are a family, and I'm glad you all recognize that and are part of it. Finally, biblical worldview integration made the highest list this year. I am ecstatic to see that we share this as a priority. Our 3 lowest scores on the parent survey, well, there was a tie between food service and community service opportunities. Food service, however, was up 11%. So hopefully this is a sign of progress. Community service opportunities is there for understandable reasons, as COVID has restricted our ability to get off campus. Another low score was affordability. We are keenly aware of the financial burden that COVID has created for many of our families. This is why we have instituted the smallest tuition increase of which we are aware in the history of the school. 1 to 2%, depending on grade level. Regardless of the COVID status, every year we remain committed to stay below the average increases at comparable Central Florida schools. Finally, on the low score list, we had facilities. I want to express appreciation to our operations crew and their commitment to make the most of what we have. Without a doubt, our facilities need an upgrade. I will provide an update on the master plan a little later. But for now, let me throw it to our athletic director to get an update on athletics.
Hello, my name is Mark Butler, and it's my honor to serve as the athletic director here at Cambridge Christian School. The mission and vision of Lancer Athletics is to glorify God in all things while making every athlete a disciple. Sports provide an excellent opportunity for discipleship as students learn many important life lessons on sacrifice, self-discipline, perseverance, and community. We use sports to prepare young people for life as Christian leaders who choose character before career, wisdom beyond scholarship, service before self, and strive to follow God's will for their lives. Our coaches use sports to develop champions for Christ and to produce disciplined, Christ-honoring teams that strive for excellence in all areas. Our history is to be honored and recognized. We have 20 varsity-level teams, 15 JV middle school level teams, and over 50 coaches in our program. Our varsity teams compete in the Florida High School Athletic Association and have experienced tremendous success. Our teams have won 61 district championships, 23 regional championships, 27 Final Fours, and 3 state championships. Lancer Athletics has produced 126 student athletes who have been recruited and went on to participate at the collegiate level. As you know, and many of you have experienced, 2020 was a very challenging year. However, even though we had to cut the spring sports season short, and with the challenges of COVID-19, our student athletes have persevered, excelled, and demonstrated excellence. Here are some of the highlights of 2020. The varsity boys basketball team under head coach Evan Graham enjoyed a very successful 16-8 season, including winning the district championship for the first time since 2015. The varsity girls basketball team under head coach Jenny Lehman enjoyed a very solid season, led by a core of seniors, and won the team's first district championship since 2010. The varsity boys soccer team under head coach Kevin Hickenbotham enjoyed a competitive season, going 13-9. The team had a balanced attack and were able to win several big games with a mix of youth and veteran leadership. The varsity girls soccer team under head coach John Mendoza enjoyed another strong season, going 15-5 and earning their first ever district championship. The varsity football team had a very successful season under our new head coach Chad Walker and his staff. They completed the season with a 9-2 record, making it to the regional semifinals. The varsity bowling teams, although very young, had a solid season. Under returning head coach Jalinda Galogli, the boys team finished the season with a 12-3 record, finishing third place in the district tournament. The girls team finished with a 9-2-4 record, finishing third in the district tournament. The varsity cross-country team enjoyed another outstanding season under Coach William Steinel and Ray Friedman. The girls repeated as district and regional champions and finished in a tie for first place in the state finals. We are also super proud of the girls as they were the FHSAA academic team champions. The boys team won their first ever district championship, finished fourth in the regional meet, and sixth place in the state finals. Our Lancer cheerleaders, under new head coach Rhonda Valito, did an awesome job cheering our team on to victory and keeping school spirit high during a very challenging year. We just recently completed our 31st annual golf tournament on January 9th, 2021, and it was a tremendous success, bringing in approximately $28,000 for our athletic programs. In conclusion, this brings me back to our school's mission to glorify God, demonstrate excellence, develop strength of character, and serve the local and global community. This mission provides the foundation of why we do what we do in Lancer Athletics, which is to make every athlete a disciple. May the Lord continue to bless all of our programs, and thank you for your continued support, and go Lancers.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. Up next is an update on Cambridge Fine Arts.
Hello, my name is Teresa Vath, Drama Director at Cambridge Christian School. This past year has certainly been a season that's required creativity and perseverance, and I'm here to tell you that the Fine Arts Department of Cambridge Christian School is alive and well, growing and thriving as we teach students in grades 7 through 12 to use their gifts to serve an audience of one, Jesus Christ. Last spring, our cast of 30 students rehearsed lines, music, choreography in preparation for the spring musical, Fiddler on the Roof. We wish you could have seen the fine work they did, but the challenges and disappointments of last spring have propelled us to a very enthusiastic fall and winter season. In August, we were excited to welcome Dr. Hubert Toney as the Director of Bands. Dr. Toney's distinguished background includes 36 years of music education in Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, primary, secondary, and collegiate levels. This fall, you could see Dr. Toney dynamically directing his bands for home football games or pep rallies in the chapel and at the exciting fall concert. Or you could watch his new drum class, Keeping the Beat, out on our deck. His secondary band students are currently preparing for the Florida Bandmasters Association's Solo and Ensemble Festival in February. Despite the challenges of running a choral program during a pandemic, under the direction of Mrs. Melissa Rawls, our choirs were able to perform 2 concerts during the fall season. Adjustments were made to class size and locations to facilitate social distancing, and the students rose above the challenges to successfully present the fall and Christmas concerts. Additionally, chapel music continues to be student-led and is one of the best music and worship opportunities at Cambridge. Students led virtually last spring, and more recently, in person, as we corporately worship in chapel each Wednesday. During this difficult season, the drama department was blessed to be able to safely present the great American play, Our Town, in November. With 2 ladders, a few pieces of furniture, and a minimum of props, our young actors were challenged to show us the value and importance of everyday life, love, and eternity. In addition to our live audience, there were more than 1,000 views of this outstanding production online. In addition, this February, the drama department is pleased to add to the role of the International Thespian Society as we induct 5 excellent students into this Theater Arts Honor Society. We are very excited to announce that the Hills are alive with the sound of music, as our music and drama students look forward to the safe presentation of our spring musical, The Sound of Music, in April. Students are preparing now for the auditions which will be taking place this month. In our visual arts department, we graduated our first AP Visual Arts class in 2020, and our students received multiple top awards in juried exhibitions. Ms. Amy Dayton has continued working toward excellence this fall and intends to enter student work in several competitions, including the Dali Surrealist Exhibition and the United States Congressional Competition. Student work will also be exhibited at the Tampa Museum of Arts this month, January 16th through February 14th. Band, music, drama, visual arts, we are all looking forward to what the Lord has planned for us in the year ahead.
Thanks, Mrs. Vath. Finally, let's hear what's happening in the world of college prep.
Hey everybody! It has been an exciting year in the guidance office, and I am looking forward to seeing where all of this year's graduates decide to attend college later this spring. In a year where people are staying close to home, we are seeing that impact college decisions now more than ever. And a number of this year's graduates are applying to schools in the state of Florida to stay close to home. But we still have many students applying out of state, including one student who is looking to join a graduate from last year at West Point. If you are interested in keeping touch with where our students are getting accepted or are attending college, please follow the Guidance Corner on Instagram or Facebook. You can see the links here. On these social sites, you will also find resources for the college application process, current scholarship opportunities, SAT and ACT registration info, community service opportunities, and so much more. While we are on the subject of technological resources, I would love to share with you a couple of programs that we utilize in the guidance office to help students with college and career exploration. Each high school student has an individual account with a program called Naviance. Naviance is an in-depth college search engine and career exploration site that allows students the ability to search criteria like college major, location, size, athletic programs, acceptance rates, and scores, and then compare them to what they are looking for in a college. When I sit down and meet with each student, we dive into Naviance and talk about the specifics of where they see themselves attending college and the calling the Lord has for them on their life after graduating from Cambridge. We also review their U Science aptitude testing and career recommendations based on how the Lord created them to think and to learn. Our ultimate goal is to talk with each student and have them think through their passions and what that means for them after they graduate. And for those lower school parents watching, college prep information begins in middle school when I start meeting with classes and going over helpful tips and ways to start preparing early for success in high school and college. Thank you for the privilege of working with your child. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime you have questions.
I want to provide an update on our master plan. Early last spring semester, our capital campaign committee felt we were positioned to raise the necessary funds to begin the execution of phase 1 of our master plan by the end of the school year. Then COVID. Since last March, we have not had a peace about asking people for money, as so many were feeling the effects of a global pandemic. While frustrated by that delay, we continue to pray for God's timing with this project. Obviously, COVID has not gone away, but we have renewed our efforts in pursuit of the funding to launch phase 1. I look forward to sharing the fine details with you in the near future. I'm excited to share that we are in the final stages of the schematic design phase with our architect. As a reminder, phase 1 will include a new high school facility, additional parking, and a new entrance from Armenia Avenue. We remain enthusiastic about this project and the resulting impact on CCS and the community. Last spring, a team of constituents, including board members, administrators, local pastors, teachers, parents, and students, developed our new strategic plan entitled Immeasurably More, based on Ephesians 3:20. In addition to providing a progress report for our last 5 years, it charts the course for our school's direction over the next 5 years in 4 areas: spiritual formation, academic advancement, institutional stability, and family investment. It can be found on the school website. Life in Lancerville is sweet, regardless of outside circumstances, even when those circumstances infringe on our way of life. Relationships in the Lancer family will always be paramount, beginning with our relationship with Christ. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possessions for another school year. Please continue to pray for us as we continue to pray for you.
You want me to look straight in the camera, right? Okay.
What are those words? You threw me off.
I almost had it. I got down to the very last paragraph.
I may be crazy, but
Awesome.
I didn't like that. I didn't like it.
During my state of this.
No, that was really good. Something like that is perfect.
I know, okay.
I was going pretty good right there, wasn't I? I was going to be one take Temperley. Now I'm two take Butler.
Cool.
I didn't like that either. I didn't like it either.
As you're just reading it. Oh yeah, you can go.
Marty, look out. Awesome if a laser came out of there. Hit Marty right in the forehead.
When we're done, I'll show you the laser. I can always count on you, man.
I always count on you, man.